Hello, this recording is to help you consider the question of white supremacy and what it really is. Several news outlets and experts have labeled the attackers on the nation's capital on January 6, 2021 as white supremacists. So I want you to decide for yourself. My approach to understanding the United States in general is very historical. So let's begin with some was an American intellectual leader, shall we say, named Lothrop Stoddard. And Stoddard, I have to stop the SoundCloud. Sorry about that. Stoddard wrote a book called The Rising Tide of Color Against White World Supremacy in 1921. Stoddard was a Harvard graduate, and as it says, the exalted cyclops of the Massachusetts chapter of the Ku Klux Klan. Yes, the Ku Klux Klan had as much footing in Michigan or Chicago, Illinois, or Massachusetts as it did in the South, and particularly in 1921. Stoddard warned people, particularly white people, that World War I had created greater footing for Asians and brown people, as he put it, to gain power in the world, and he saw this as a major threat to civilization. So this Harvard-educated theorist, shall we say, was a tremendous influence on Hitler and also very powerful and influential in United States culture in 1921. Tulsa, you may have heard of recently due to the HBO series The Watchmen. But in 1921, there was a very affluent community called Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And this community was effectively attacked and burned to the ground, and many people murdered simply because of jealousy over their economic success. Similar things happened in other parts of the country. There is also a well-known film called Rosewood, which is about a city in Florida that also was destroyed. But my point here is that we have a long history of violence and rioting and terrorism against Black people that has taken place in the United States, not to mention slavery and the legalized institution of slavery that was also a main figure of building the United States. I'm talking in this case about Black soldiers after slavery and about free Black people in the antebellum period. So at the end of this video, we have our too long to read list where you can see the links with more information about all of these topics. But the take home here is that white supremacists have organized and in most cases carried out violent acts to subjugate Black people since 1776 in the United States. And in many ways, this violence happened because of economic jealousy and the desire to keep a subordinate economic class, to keep people poor by destroying whatever resources they had. So I'm going to begin this definition of white supremacy by saying that white supremacy is a concerted and organized effort to assure that Black people in particular, but also other groups of color in the United States, do not gain a strong economic foothold or full equality and civil rights that are reserved for white people alone. Thank you for listening, and feel free to check out the other resources. I will continue this conversation in a couple of days.